girls is here tonight. We had all kind of technical difficulties, but the
All
belief system
kinds.
boss is back.
Oh my goodness. All
Lady J
kinds of
Thorne is
technical.
here.
Woo-woo.
Yes. All right.
Oh,
So Dr. Lisa has been missing for a couple of weeks. So we have merged the good news. We start off with good news first, sharing good news, right? So
okay.
I'm going to start off with good news.
Okay.
Okay. Again, I am Lady J Thorne. I can be reached on all social media, Lady J Thorne. I'm a author and a speaker and a cheerleader. And to my left is the beautiful, phenomenal Dr. Lisa Lewis. And
Woo.
please state how they can reach you. And she is also an author, coach, and speaker. What are
I
your
am
tags? Your email,
I
all
am
that,
the Belief System Boss. You
right?
can find me on IG, Dr. Lisa T. Lewis on Facebook. Right now, I don't even know what other social media. When I tell you
Yes.
we pressed,
Pressed.
pressed to
Thank
get
you.
on
Thank
here.
you for those who didn't blow up my phone this week asking me why are you starting late again or where are you? Like we were literally about to like give it up, right? But we pressed through.
Yes.
Um
No, see, the cheerleader said, let's try one
one
more
more
again, one more again. And I was like, because maybe we just need to
She's like,
release
no, man,
this.
nope, like I tell you, I know you haven't had a chance, but last week, the
Uh-huh.
pressing through, it was so worth it. The pressing through was so worth it. Anybody who caught last week, if you didn't catch last week, please, you can either scroll up on Facebook and
Yes.
see when last Wednesday night about 7:07 we went on. We also can be reached on YouTube. We need to update the Twitter is X now, right? So we need to update that.
Oh,
But
yes. Yes.
and now it's Threads. I don't know if you're on Threads yet, but we have to update that. So
Okay.
I want to start off with two pieces of good news.
Okay.
So first piece of good news, I've been posting. If you have to be under a rock to not see, I've had three postings that coming into my fourth year of being a published author. Purpose not perfect. I put the link on my Facebook page, my Lady J Thorne business page, as well as Instagram. The link is there. It's still $9.99. I know a lot of y'all shopping for Black Friday, all of that. Y'all need to just put that in your cart. It is
That's
worth
it.
it. It's a short read. Um, but I think I did it more for inspiration, right? Because how many times have you planned to do something, right? You want to do it, you want to do it, you should do it.
Yes.
You feel like, it's never going to get done. And that's a big accomplishment to actually get it done. So I'm glad that that one is done. I know another one is needed. I feel it in my spirit, in my
Me
shanana,
too.
as Dr. Lisa
Yep.
would say.
Yep.
It's just birthing it out, right? It's more than a
Yes.
notion, right? Because life has been lifing.
Like fiend. And it's not easy. And let me say that it's not easy because when people say, "Oh, you wrote a book," I sometimes I want to. It takes everything I have not to snatch it back and say, "Oh, but how many books have you written?" This is not. It's not an easy thing to
Yes,
do and to publish and the whole process. Um, and to get what's on the inside down on the page and the
right,
time that it takes to set aside and get things, your thoughts and things organized. Anyway, I just thought
right.
I would throw that in there. So we
Yes,
understand.
that is so true, right? I've had a couple of different conversations and I was fighting imposter syndrome. Like first, like, well, why? First of all, it would not have come up in my mind or my spirit to post this post if I wasn't supposed to do it. That's number
Right.
one.
First.
Number
Yep.
two, it's not easy. And international best-selling in 4 countries.
Come on
Again,
through.
it's not easy, but as I stated before, I'm a recovering perfectionist.
Yeah.
And you may not get the same level anymore at this juncture because I'm working on pouring back into myself. But
Yeah.
in everything, I typically will go above and beyond if I say I'm going to do something. So if I did it, I wanted to do it right. And so I've set a standard for myself, right? I've done it before, I can do it again. And it's just not that easy, right? And I know next time I definitely want to add audio because not
Yes.
everybody, has the time to read the book. Not everybody likes to read it on their phone.
Right.
Um, but I'm going to turn the conversation over to my next good news. So,
Yay.
next good news. Have you watched the movie um, Steel Magnolias?
Yes.
Okay. So there's a part where Shirley MacLaine
Hmm.
and oh my gosh, who was she talking to? I don't know the other actress's name, but she had a buddy, right? They were the older of the ensemble cast. And
Hmm.
oh no, she was talking to Dolly Parton. And they were talking about hosiery, right? And something about because you were raised right. So we are of a particular age, right? And we were raised for with slips, having the right undergarments and all of that. So today, this might seem silly, but I think it's important. I ran over to I ran over to the mills, to Arundel Mills, because they have Hanes. They have Hanes, the Hanes outlet store. And I still every year go to Hanes and go get my several pairs of hosiery, right? You get three,
Is it
right?
is it hosiery or is it tights for the winter?
Okay. It's stockings, right? Hosiery, right? So
I
I have
cannot.
tights. I get my
Okay.
tights from Wally World,
Yeah.
but
I thought
these
I
are
was the only one that
just
called it
regular,
Wally
like
World.
right. And don't get me started on the knee highs too, because I brought some also. Anyway,
So,
um,
but knee highs are for pants, right?
correct.
Okay? You
Right,
don't do like your
or sometimes
grandmama.
for skirts, if people, if the skirt was long enough, come on now, we were raised up. Your skirt had to be
Listen,
long enough. Come on now.
no, 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 no. Because now you making me think of my grandmother in the church kitchen with the knee highs rolled with a little pin in it while she cooking the Sunday dinner at church.
See, I
Don't do
told you
it,
this was gonna be
Jacqueline.
good news.
Jacqueline, don't do it. And
Okay,
look, and all
so
the mothers of the church got them knee highs, the things rolled
and they
around and
still
tied in
doing
a
it.
knot.
So no shade, mother, whoever. We not throwing no shade. Do your thing in your knee highs and your bobby socks with your dress shoes, whatever.
Stop it, please. No, no shade. Mm-mm. No, because
No, it's
look,
the
we
truth.
don't need them getting in the prayer circle talking about. We need to pray for them two sisters over there, the daddy's girls.
Right.
Oh, Jesus.
So
Oh,
the good news part, right? So I go in, there's nobody there, but myself and the lady is the service person is like, let me know if you need any help. So I went where I usually go and it wasn't there, but I did see
mhm.
these 50% off signs. So she comes over, we're chit chat and talking. She said, um, so let me advise you that we're not going to be selling these any longer. We'll sell individual pairs, but not the
The
three
three
in a
pack.
pack, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I asked her, she said, are you having any trouble? I said, yeah. I said, I can't find navy. Like she said, So, oh, I don't think we have any more navy.
So
So I
wait a
said, all right,
minute,
I'm getting jet black.
Jacqueline.
Jet black is my color anyway. I'm getting jet black. But today I wore
Okay.
navy pants and I wanted to wear some navy knee highs, and I could only find one
No, wait.
one knee high,
I'm dying.
and
I'm
everything else
dying.
was black.
I'm dying. I'm dying. Look, I thought you were doing Hanes, the flesh tone color. You know.
Right. So
Oh
So I
God.
have so I was 50% off. So I believe it was $27, right? So that was the other
Wow.
thing. I looked in my little stash and I only had one pair I had not worn in
Mm-mm.
hosiery. And I
Okay.
had the pair that I wore yesterday.
Hmm.
And I was like, I need to go get some more. So it was on my to-do list. I was like, okay, before I leave this area, I go limited number of days a week.
Yeah.
Before I leave this area, I'm going to run over there and go get some hosiery. So I was able to pay $13.50 per pack. Got three, and then she said, I said, um, you said knee highs too, and she said, yeah. So I just brought one,
Okay.
and then they didn't have any more black. I said, okay, how long is the sale running? And she said, until we sell out, we're not going to get any more. I said, all
Wow.
right, I'm going to leave, what I have. And then after, I said, next week I'll roll through to see
And
if there's any
see.
Black Friday sales, or if anything left over, then I'll get the taupe or the Bailey there or whatever for the,
Yes.
just,
Barely
and
there.
then
Yes.
I started thinking, let me Google where the next one is. So maybe, if I'm making rounds, I don't plan on doing any foolery shopping. That's what I call being out there for Black Friday and all that foolery shopping. But I might roll through if, what's the one across the Bay Bridge? There's
Oh,
a Queens
Queens.
outlet,
Yeah, yeah.
and there's
Queenstown.
another one on the other side of DC. Not quite Virginia. There's
Oh,
another
you
big
talking
outlet.
about by the casino. Like I don't know. I
That's
don't know
that's the
enough
one
about
I
the
went to
casino.
today.
Oh,
But
did you? Okay. What's the other
right.
one
Oh,
then?
so you're talking about the National Harbor Casino.
Yes, yes,
Okay. Yes, that's the other one. So I said, let me just
yeah.
kind of look and see. And I was hesitant to say because somebody might see this and go and buy up all the
Don't
jet
y'all
black, and I'll
go
be
get
mad.
no. I know. Don't go and get no hosiery from Hanes, so Jacqueline can go and get hers and leave them knee highs alone, so she can get those too.
Yeah, so I want to know if I am still. That's why That's one of the reasons I'm Lady J Thor. I'm a lady. I was raised right, right. I still wear hosiery, right, and I wear a lot of dresses. I have suits and all that, but my go-to is going to be a dress, and then switch
Yeah,
out my blazer or whatever. So I still wear hosiery, and not the sheer. I want the ultra, sheer. I don't want it's too itchy when it's just that ultra sheer,
yeah.
the kind that you can get every color in the beauty supply store. You can still get bright green and purple and red, and
I cannot
I'm bringing the good
with
news.
you.
See you smiling, right? Oh my goodness. So I know that there is something that has happened in the last 3 weeks that you can share with the viewers. What's your good news? Share some good news with the people.
Well, I must admit, I do still wear slips. I do, and I wear hosiery, and I wear
Okay,
tights,
so
and
that's the question. Where, because it's so hard to find, right? That's the other thing. So where, if you're going to buy a new slip, would you find a slip? What, JC Penney?
oh,
Like,
they have them everywhere. They have them J.C. Penney's. They have them in Macy's. They have them in Nordstrom.
okay,
Uh, you can get them from Amazon. You can get them at Wally World. Oh yes, ma'am. The mothers
okay.
would be
You know
upset.
what? I have not went over there specifically looking for a slip, right?
Hmm.
I sort of gave up on it, right?
No.
But I'm gonna go look for one because every once in a while you'll have a dress that doesn't have,
A
a
lining in it.
lining,
Yeah.
or it's. and that's the other thing, right? It didn't have the dresses are heavier now. You know, if lighter dresses, you need a slip because it's see through, and you need to
Yes.
make sure that right. So yeah, I'm going to add that to my list, my to do list, to go find me a slip because I haven't had one in a while.
Oh gosh. Okay, so then now it's your turn to laugh at me. I have a whole slip drawer. I have
See?
that many. I have short ones, I have mid length, I have ones for maxi dresses. Um,
Hmm.
because that's the other thing. So just in case you don't wear hosiery or you don't wear tights, you want the fabric to keep moving. And so the
Right.
slip allows the fabric to move and lay nicely and all that stuff. So yeah, I have a whole slip drawer. Actually, a
Okay.
slip and hosiery drawer. Slip and hosiery and tights are
Right.
in the same drawer. So I'm I'm
Okay.
I'm laughing at you, but you're not by
No, but
yourself.
I invite people in the chat again, just as a reiteration. If you're chatting with us in Facebook, we can't see it right now, but we can see it
Oh, right,
later. We can't see it live, right?
right.
If you're commenting on YouTube, it's a little bit different. But we just still, even though we didn't come in the way we typically do, we still here.
Yes,
We still have a message. And Dr.
yes,
Lisa herself said like 3 weeks ago, there was 8 more Wednesdays left, and we were committed to do the
yes.
last 8. So we are still here, and we want your comments. We still want your feedback. It means a lot. Again, we can't read your minds, but we do get some feedback from some folks that look forward to this. So we hope that that is always great content, right? So
And I
um
like it because, like we say, we're real women, real
real
midlife,
midlife, real
real
talk.
talk.
Right.
Because yeah, that is so true. I was at
Hmm.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah,
So good
definitely.
news, good news, good news. Okay, so good news
Yes.
is I am, and so part of the press is that I was in the air. My favorite
Yes.
place now is the airport. And my feet are standing, well, I'm sitting on hollowed ground in New Orleans because this is where it started for
It
us.
did. It did. And I hollered when I was in a conference room with one of my consultants, and I didn't see your text right away. And I was like, I did a gas. He said, "Is everything all right?" I was like, she went back to New Orleans without me. I want to be broadcasting from New Orleans.
I said,
I can
and I
taste I
thought
can taste
about
the
it.
food right now.
What you talking about? As soon as we get off of here, because I said to myself, "Oh my God, this is so significant because this is where we met for the
Right.
collaboration. Uh, for the first time,
Right.
and so it's just it's just amazing. And because who knew that out of that this would come? Because
Right.
that book was a bestseller as well. That was a
Right. It was.
best-selling
I'm number one
publication.
bestseller, right?
Hmm.
Women entrepreneurs, women in business. I
Yep.
forget the other categories, but yes, was number one bestselling as well, internationally as well.
Yes, yes, yes. Um, I guess so. It should come as no surprise, the press, because it's all like full circle. It's like
Right.
a full
And
circle.
you said who knew? God knew. God knew what he
Yes,
was doing. And
yes.
we had not acknowledged our sister Aida
I was just
Sanchez,
about to
who
say, yeah.
is traveling.
She's in
We'll
Rome
let
right now.
Yeah.
She's in
Well,
Rome.
I think she has multiple destinations, so we're looking forward to hearing about the. And I asked her to let me know when she arrived, and she commented on one of my posts this week, so I know that she's safe somewhere. I don't have WhatsApp, so
Oh,
she
okay.
couldn't call me, but that was my only indication that she is safe, and she'll be gone through the 29th, I believe. So
So
she won't
after
be
the
here
holiday.
next
Okay.
week, maybe the next 2 weeks. And
Okay.
we have to talk. The last week I'm having a procedure on the 29th, which is I think the last Wednesday of this month. So
Okay.
um please press through because I won't I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to listen in. I don't know what shape I'm gonna be in. I
Okay.
know I'm not
So
gonna be in no shape to talk.
no, so that's fine. So I'll make sure on the 29th
The
on the
29th, yes. Wednesday the 29th, the last Wednesday of the month.
that I will
Yes,
be
but Ada
stationary.
is traveling. And yeah, so God definitely knew, right?
Hmm.
Look at that has happened since we met,
I
right?
know.
That was December 2018.
I know, and this is almost December again. Oh my goodness.
And I remember it was unseasonably warm
It
because I
was.
know I had to go get I brought a t-shirt in the airport and I wound up having to wear it a couple days because it was like 80
It was,
degrees.
yes, yes. And
And
today it's raining. It's raining. It's not hot. It's in the 60s.
right.
But yeah, but it was
Yeah,
hot, and and everybody
and
was surprised at how hot it was for December.
yes, right. And I missed the parade or I don't know, the second line. Something had something outside the hotel when we were having our event.
Hmm.
And we were still doing the meeting and greeting and meeting the other
Yeah.
authors and taking photos. So by the time I came back to the hotel, my girlfriend who came down, she was
Hmm.
like, "You missed it. There was a parade and everything outside the whole, and it was decorated for the holidays. That's another sight
It was
to
nice.
see New Orleans
Yeah.
decorated for the holidays.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. And another highlight for me, my aunt and uncle came from Charlotte
They
to
sure
support
did.
me. Well, not Charlotte,
Yeah.
from North Carolina.
Because you
Um,
had a
um,
table. You had a table full of folks.
Yes, and my cousin came from New York. My
Hmm.
girlfriend came here from Maryland, so I did have a table.
You
So
had your posse. Yes.
I did, and he was like my surrogate father. He was my father's older brother, and he like sort of wrapped his round around arms around myself and my other cousins. And he
Mm.
was all of our fathers. He was father to many, grandfather to many as well. I mean, but the highlight is my aunt telling me that, and I didn't notice that my uncle did not travel. He did not like to fly, and the fact that he came there to support me, she
Wow.
was like, "Let me tell you." And at the time, because they were married 45 years before he passed, or he died in their 45th year. Um,
Mm.
but she knew him a long time. And she said, when I tell you that he does not travel like this,
Mm.
and he wasn't feeling well, because I remember when they came, we had went to out to go get him something to eat, and he just wanted to stay in the hotel, just just chill out because he was kind of adjusting, I guess, to the flying
Yeah,
and
with the
everything. But
travel. Hmm.
that was a wonderful trip. Again, the weather was excellent. We made our initial connection, met about maybe five or six of the other anthology
Hmm.
chapter authors,
Yeah.
and and I was, and even the sponsor who wound up being my publisher for my book, my
Yeah.
last two books, and I just remember the inspirational, the keynote speaker and the
Hmm.
the inspirational stories of the other authors that were there, and it was just a time. So that is a full circle moment, right? It's a
Yes,
special place.
it
I
is.
arrived about 2 days before everybody else.
Mm.
And I was able to explore New Orleans. I had never been there. So I went to the New Orleans, what do they call it? Where they do the Mardi Gras and they build the floats for their
Hmm.
Mardi Gras. I was able to
Hmm.
go and inside and see them,
Mm.
some of the artists working on them, and eat some king cake and learn about the
Oh,
different colors,
yes.
um and for me, my experience was I felt spirits when I was walking down the street.
Oh look, they out here now. You know, New Orleans be live. I hear the like,
It just felt like a spiritual place, you know. It was just fantastic. I had a ball.
oh, I see
Um,
them. They out here music and dancing.
are they?
Yes,
Well, it's
yes.
dark. You can't really, you could hear them, but you can't see them.
Oh, I can see them from the hotel. I'm on the tall floor.
Ooh.
They all in the streets and stuff. Oh
Oh.
man. Oh, look, I see the colors. Oh, see, okay. Yeah, just in case y'all didn't know, I'm a party girl. I love to dance. I love dancing and music.
Okay. Wonderful. Yes, I had a wonderful time. I know. How long are you going to be?
This is a quick trip. I'll be back on Friday. Yep, late
Okay.
Friday.
Okay.
hmm So I'm a
Nice. Well,
tear up
I know a
the.
lot of people tell you, and I'll tell you after we get off, my favorite for po' boy and quick eat. Everybody has their favorites, but I'll tell you my favorites. And my favorite um beignet place also is not the typical one
It's
everybody
not
goes
the
to.
one that everybody talks about.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
that one.
yeah. Everybody says that. They're
Yeah,
like, everybody tells you to go to this
yeah, everybody say
particular
go here,
place.
go there. I'm just going to share my favorite experiences, right?
Yeah.
Um, because I'm sure you have your own, right? You went there with your daughter, right? Your
Yes,
daughter?
my
Yeah.
daughter. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I had been here before. I just love the energy of the place, like you said, just like
Yes,
you. I
yes.
love
I
the
agree. I
energy.
agree. I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah.
Okay, so let's get to the title and then we're gonna wrap it up. We're not gonna be long, you know. We're gonna be purposeful, right? So it's
Okay.
about to
Yes.
get uncomfortable.
Lord, when you told me the title, I was like, it's about to get uncomfortable. It's already been uncomfortable. So is it going to
Well,
get more
it could have
uncomfortable?
been different variations, right? But we can again, we can brainwash ourselves in different ways, right? And I think some people are in denial, right? I know sometimes I am in reference to the pressure. We talked about pressing through,
hmm
about life gets uncomfortable, right? And in those
Yeah.
uncomfortable moments is when you learn, right? When you actually have the opportunity for the test to become the testimony. And it is that season where just stuff started happening.
Yeah.
Right? Family, a good, bad, or indifferent. Turkey Day is coming down the road, and then we have Christmas and New Year's and Three Kings and Kwanzaa, and I can go on and on and on. However, this time of year, I think is more sensitive, right? You think of anniversaries of people who may not be here anymore. Unfortunately, people leave this time of year. And I just think that the more prepared that you get yourself to be uncomfortable, right? We cannot always be comfortable, right? It is purposeful, and it's not made for you to be comfortable, right? Yes, there
Mm.
are certain situations you're like, okay, enough is enough. I just want to be comfortable. But you don't grow when you're comfortable, right? You don't evolve, you don't stretch. If everything was to stay the same all the time, then it would be mundane, right? It's something is
Mm.
bound to happen. Something is bound. So I just think like a rubber band, right? Or what else do you have to stretch? Pantyhose. When you first get them, you have to stretch them. The tights, right? Go back to my
Girl.
good news, right? If we don't learn that we have to have elasticity in our spirit and our walk as well, right? I just think that it was. is something that you need to think about, right? People are always wanting to get to a comfort spot. But if you find that thing or you're not able to sort of get there, it keeps changing, it keeps sliding. There's some more growing that has to be done. I'm not saying you're gonna like it. You're probably not gonna like it. But if
Right.
you would think about the last time,
Hmm.
think about the last time you were stretched for something, the last time you grew from something, the last time it got real uncomfortable and you had to strategize. Hopefully you prayed, right? I think that's our human um uh, what is it? Our habit, right? What can I do? But maybe that's the
Right.
time for you to say, okay, I can't do nothing but whatever daddy wants to happen
Hmm.
and how I'm supposed to be used through this, right? It's not about what you can do, it's about who you go to find out, well, what am I it's sometimes it's not for you to fix. We talked a couple of weeks about being used, right? We're being used, right? We talked about that we're generous people, right? That we have open hearts and we're going to be used because part of being a daddy's girl is being used, right? To inspire, to teach, to learn, to instruct, and to be organic the way that we are and
Yeah.
to share that with others. So,
So it's interesting that you say that because I listened to a message by Pastor Sarita Jakes Roberts,
okay.
and own your lesson.
Mm.
Own your lesson. So immediately I thought about, you can't hear the music. They are jamming. Oh,
Nope. I think because I'm on my phone and again, we had issues with volume. So I can hear
oh,
you and it's low. I can't like turn up the volume anymore. Let me go. I did learn last week. I can see them. Okay. So Marilyn Brooks, thank you so much for joining. Hey, True. You don't own these slips either. It's 45 degrees in New York. Yeah, it was quite cool here too. This morning when I left and when I came in tonight, I'm looking for a scarf. Maybe we talk about scarves next time. Or, but I can see your chats now. And we're both on our phones tonight. So again, it's a much smaller screen, so it's not like it is typically. Um, I don't know. I can still see that Lisa is on, but I can't see her visually. It's just a box. Um, yeah. So, um, do you still wear hosiery? True. Okay, I lost Dr. Lisa. She is being influenced by the New Orleans music playing outside her hotel room. So, okay. All right. Now I'm starting to pause. Yeah. Yeah, so Dr. Lisa is in New Orleans, and 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 Ada is traveling as well, international travel. So you still have me. I'm committed again to be here as much as we can to the end of the year. But again, would love to hear your feedback about stretching, right? About getting uncomfortable, about trying to prepare to be uncomfortable, right? Or welcoming, right? Don't resist the uncomfortability. Like it's if you were chosen, you're chosen for a reason, right? The strong seem to always be chosen. Or you might ask yourself, why me? How come I have to be the one? How come I have to be the one to host? How come I have to be the one to stretch myself? How come I have to be the one to be the bigger person. All of these things are, uncomfortable sometimes, but so much is given to expect, much is given, much is expected, right? Let's see. You wear some tights but no stockings. All right, okay. Yeah, I still wear hosiery. Again, I wear a lot of dresses. Um, and I can't really think about the summer. The summer is the only time I won't wear hosiery, right? Um, but otherwise, what am I supposed to do, right? And my office right now, sometimes it's so cold in certain offices, but it's so hot. We just recently moved to another floor, and we're on the floor where all of the servers are. So maybe they put up with more heat or something, but it's too cold outside not to have something on your legs. But then at a certain age, I don't want to be too hot either. So if I would wear tights, I would have to try to come out of them. So it's hosiery most of the time. Although I do have some nice, you know, um, graphic tights, right from Wally World. I know that there's a lot of sites. I just have a problem paying $35 for one pair of hosiery, but I mean one pair of tights, you know. But I accept gifts. So if you want to gift them to me, okay. Yeah, stretching is uncomfortable. It is uncomfortable. But have you ever asked yourself, how come you keep being the one that's chosen? Right? Forget that it's you. Right. We stretch to get better. We have a better fit. So that's what I meant about those hosiery, those tights, whatever. Okay, Dr. Lisa's calling me. Hold on one second. All right. So Dr. Lisa, so I'm back. So Dr. Lisa lost Wi-Fi. They partying so hard outside they done drowned out the Wi-Fi in New Orleans. So I'll circle back with her. So that was right about the hosiery, right? We left off talking about when you get a pair of hosiery. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Bring it a full circle. When you get a pair of hosiery, it's sometimes it has a cardboard inside of it. It's usually wrapped in cardboard, but it's just like an 11, right? It's not fitted to your shape. So you have to stretch them. You have to put them on. A new pair of shoes. It's not conformed to your foot yet. And initially you have to stretch them, right? I also remember as a young lady coming up, stretching those shoes, right? Oh, I can't even think about some of that. I know putting on socks if you didn't have a stretcher, stuffing the shoes. But again, it's about getting uncomfortable, right? In order to get comfortable, you have to conform something, somebody, some situation so that it fits a little bit better. So wherever that is going to take you, whoever this message is for, again, you should expect, right? You don't expect to put on a pair of hosiery, a pair of tights, even a pair of socks, a pair of slacks. It's not typically going to be comfortable right away. You're going to have to do something to conform it. All right, I have to put on my glasses because I can't see this small screen. Not at all. That's why it depends on the situation. Correct. True. It depends on the situation. So get uncomfortable. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. It's not always going to be a situation where you can be comfortable. Okay, I was trying to change the screen. All right. And thank you for coming on. Again, we always ask for feedback. We can't always see um we can't always see who's jumping on. And now I'm scrolling back, I can see your comments. So we weren't ignoring you. Okay, so I see somebody else says tights, they don't do hosiery. That was Marilyn. Marilyn. Jackie, living my best life. I love shopping on Black Friday. Tanger outlets. Yeah, we have Tanger in Delaware. I don't think we have them in Maryland, but we have a couple of the mills and regular outlet stores. Okay. All right. I'm just trying to scroll through your comments now that I can read them. Okay. All right. So this has been a learning experience again. Another week without all of the fancy intro and outro. We would be wrapping up soon and you would see the ocean. But on tonight, we came to show up and God showed out again. So again, we are Daddy's Girls Talk. We are real women, real midlife, real talk. We are authors, speakers, coaches, cheerleaders, and we're here to inspire you and get down to the bottom line on things that we experience at this time. So we invite you to please follow us, please comment on YouTube. If you would like, subscribe, and share, you'll get notifications when we come on. If you're catching us on Facebook, again, we cannot see your comments until afterwards. So please bear with us and thank you so much. We are, I believe this is 27 or 28. So we have a full library in YouTube. If you would follow Dr. Lisa Lewis, the belief, excuse me, the belief system boss. I am Jacqueline Thorne, and I am Lady J Thorne. I'm Jacqueline Thorne 788 on YouTube, and we are all available via social media. And I know Ada is I am Ada Sanchez.com or info at IamAdaSanchez.com. Ada prefers emails, but you can also direct message her or DM her as well, and you can reach any of us. Thank you so much. You could be doing anything, but tonight you're with us. So I think I talked a little bit last week about possibly next Wednesday doing something a little bit different, taking you into the kitchen. I'm not planning on doing a whole lot of cooking this year, just for my house, right? Because I plan to be visiting family. Um, so, but I think I'm gonna take it to the kitchen now. I think I'm gonna take it to the kitchen. So please come back next week and see what messages we have for you. It's been a pleasure. Again, we pressed through to birth this out, so I hope that it was worth it. I hope that it was worth it. So I'm going to sign off. Let's see if there's any homework. I did reach out to somebody who has been on my mind a couple of weeks ago. I still have not been able to get in touch this time of year. I just spoke to somebody about the value in writing notes, right? We used to write before we had Facebook and all of this, you used to have a card or get a card in the mail. So that might mean a text, a phone call. Again, if somebody has passed your brain, passed your in your spirit, and you thought about them, you haven't spoke about them in a while, or you just want to say hey and check in. Why don't you do that this week? And please, follow up with us next week and see you know, if you were able to get in touch with somebody or if you made a connection because of that. Again, it doesn't hurt. And we're in that time of year that we need to stay connected, right? All year, but during these holidays that are coming up, may not be able to travel, but just check on your folks, check on your people, and check on your strong friends also. All right. I am losing my voice. So I'm going to go have a cup of tea and my dinner. And I thank you again for joining us. Thank you, Dr. Lisa, for coming in for a little bit. We wish you safe travels coming back home on Friday. And we just thank you and safe travels for Ada as well. All right. I'm going to say good night. I feel like I'm babbling, but it was a pleasure. So until next time, good night. All right.